Well, that's picked up the trail cameras for the last couple of weeks they've been out. I think the last time I did a session on this little project was end of May, about 5 weeks ago. And I think at that point in time the expectation was that I was going to hopefully try and catch the badges with the lengthening of the day or daylight hours, so I can try and catch them in the daylight. I've been checking for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and well, unfortunately I don't think that's going to be the case, but like I say, it's been out for a fortnight. Let's just have a look at this film and see what comes. So since the last trail cam video, the badges were still moving around in roughly the same area, but at no point did I see all three, so I'm uncertain at this stage whether we still have three. They're moving back and forth quite regularly past the trail cams, but it seemed still, even when we're getting into early June, which would have been the longest day, they weren't coming out anywhere near dawn or dusk. That was what I was waiting for. I was hoping to see them in the day, which would then give me an opportunity to maybe try and film them real time, as it were. But this was interesting behaviour. It looked as if they were moving their bedding to another part of the set. But an encouraging feature here was the 4 cubs that we saw. I never saw them again together, but this particular one, as you can see, is growing up nicely and kept revisiting. And I wondered if it was the cub that was really curious going into the set. But from this camera angle I found it really interesting. You could just see the reflection of the trail cam light in the eyes of this deer. And I'm uncertain who's more frightened of whom. It's quite nice to see this fallow deer buck. The antlers are certainly not very well developed, so whether that's down to diet. But he came right up. He seemed to be very curious of the trail cam. I'm moving the camera to another position I've used frequently. This fallow deer seems to have much more well-developed antlers still in the velvet. decided to move one of the cameras to where I thought the badger was moving its bedding, and this particular shot was the only time I got them in the day, and it was the last time I ever saw any of the badgers. It's about the 12th of June, I think it was, 12th, 13th of June. And when I first saw that clip, I thought, well, yeah, here we go. But yeah, for the next 2 or 3 weeks, nothing. But it was nice to see these ever-present muntjac with the male here still in the velvet. I think this branch, rather than being placed there, had dropped down. This roe deer here, taking advantage of an easy meal. I did like this position, as it was a convenient perch, attracting the birds really quite close view of the jay. Song thrush and a juvenile robin. But you can see this nog here, the reason why I placed it, you can see it's all scratched up, so the badgers have used it previously. And as the sort of week progressed, I noticed on the left-hand side that the reason why the birds were readily coming here was I could just see some ants, so it looked as if they were coming and feeding upon the ants. And over a period of a day, there became more and more ants, and then I suddenly realised they were sort of a flying ants. And the birds really made hay of this feeding opportunity. I found it quite funny. They were almost pecking them off themselves, so the ants must have been running up and down their feet and onto their bodies. This song thrush here really having a feed up. Despite this, I'm really quite disappointed that the badgers didn't put a little show in. And I think with the noise from the camera, the birds were landing on the camera as well. Well, I've had a quick look at both the trail cams, and it looks as if no more footage since the middle of June. So whether that's down to the sort of national cull, the licence they have here in Hampshire to be able to control the spread of TB, I don't know. Whether it's down to roadkill, I did notice, unfortunately, one by the side of the road as I approached today. I mean, there were only 3, so it's going to be difficult to say. So I think it's time to sort of maybe move on. So the upside of this is I've got an opportunity to place the cameras. I've got permission to place the cameras at a farm. Now, it's a little bit of a drive from me, about an hour away. It's up in Oxfordshire. It's an 80-acre farm, so it's quite a small farm. Had a quick couple of looks up there in the mornings, seeing barn owls There's a barn owl box which looks as if it's in use. I've seen quite a few foxes, roe deer, and allegedly the farmer has seen badgers. So whether the badger set is on his land, don't know. So I was hoping to do a little bit of explore today. I've picked up the cameras, take them home, charge the batteries up, and then we'll hopefully drop them off this weekend and spend, well, hopefully another, well, several months. So I've had them about, well, since Christmas, 6 months. 3 months were initially with the roe deer, then we've had sort of 2 to 3 months at the set here. So I think I'm going to commit to about 2-3 months. Try and move them around, see if I can find the set, and just give it a go there. So it's a little bit of a disappointment here. I was really hoping to see them in the daytime, but that's not going to be the case. That's the challenge. And yeah, hopefully this new permission is going to play out trumps. Well, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a little thumbs up, like and subscribe, and as always, it'd be great for you to catch me in the next one.